we've had the Fire Safety Act and the Building Safety Act take part of that. And what we're seeing is now the remedial work carrying out on these buildings through contractors, but also the government put aside over £5 billion to support the changes in these buildings.
Welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is Simon Deacon. He is the CEO of Light Science Technologies. And Simon, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you, Stephen. I'm good. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. Well, good to have you along, especially when you have some exciting news out, and you have that announcing today a big contract for your passive fire protection services. So before we get into the contract itself, maybe let's talk about that arm of the company and the growing market that you're seeing.
Yeah, the passive fire protection division is really strong. Here in the UK, we've got over 33,000 buildings, which are between 11 and 18 meters high, and over 11,000 buildings, which are 18 meters and above high, which have got a remedial work which needs carrying out to them in fire protection. And we provide a barrier going in each floor level, horizontally or vertically, to put protection within the cavity, which is really important to get fire protection within a building. We've seen some awful disasters here in the UK, and it's important that these are stopped and the remedial work is done on these buildings, and that's what we provide.
Yeah, and that's because of the increasing regulation that you're seeing as well in trying to make these buildings safer.
Yeah, the regulations really changed since Grenfell. We've had the Fire Safety Act and the Building Safety Act take part of that. And what we're seeing is now the remedial work carrying out on these buildings through contractors, but also the government put aside over £5 billion to support the changes in these buildings, which over 1.1 billion has now been used. So it's really good to see the traction being used, the money's being used to get these buildings fire safe, and we're putting that barrier in. So the market value is 50 billion here in the UK. So it's a really strong market value.
Yeah, and you've been able to take a piece of that now, announcing a new contract, a big contract, in fact, with a construction firm. And this is someone that you've already been working with, correct?
Yeah, we started working with them at the beginning of the year on a couple of their tower blocks in Manchester. And now they've got a further 2 tower blocks to do. They're residential tower blocks with various cavity sizes within the building. And this takes, rather than taking the facade off a building, the frontage of a building, where it's been reclad to look newer or make the building look pretty, what they can leave the cladding on, and we can fill the cavity and the void with this special fire protection, which lasts up to 2 hours, which, as you can imagine, is environmentally friendly, but also really cost solution of putting this product in rather than taking that facade down.
Yeah, Simon, two key things to this. One is obviously it's a new contract, so you're getting revenue from that. But secondly, it's repeat business as well, which is, I would think, a super positive moving forward.
It is. We're seeing a lot of our people that we work with. I mean, we've done projects around the country, so we're nationwide. And what we're seeing is they've got a portfolio of buildings that need attending to. So they might have 10, 20, in some cases over 300 buildings in their portfolio, which require remedial work. And what we're seeing is that this will take up to 20 years to do. There's around 20 years worth of work here to get this remedial work done. So there's a lot of work out there. This is the right product and cost-effective product to put in. And we're seeing real good traction. You know, our pipeline now, quoted pipeline is over 7 million. And we're seeing that good conversion rate with good customers and partnerships as we convert those buildings.
Yeah, over 1.1 million pounds. So exciting days today for sure. And moving forward, Simon, thanks so much. Good update, and congratulations on this contract. And we'll talk again. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Simon Deacon, the CEO of Light Science Technologies.